What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. Today we're going to be talking about 3 unconventional mindsets to adopt for manifesting massive wealth into your life. And I'm so excited to chat with y'all about this. And my goodness, I've been trying to record this podcast episode all morning, but the upstairs neighbor of the Airbnb that I'm staying in at the moment loves to stomp around like it's their full-time job. So we finally found a window where it is quiet enough to record the podcast, and I'm so fucking excited for it. But yeah, as some of you may know, as I look for my dream apartment in the city, I am staying in an Airbnb, and you just run into all kinds of funky things whilst that is happening. But very excited to be recording this podcast episode. So let's dive straight into it. 3 unconventional mindsets to adopt for manifesting massive wealth. So the first unconventional mindset that you want to adopt if you want to manifest more money and more wealth into your life is that the more energy, focus, love, attention, whatnot that you put into yourself, the more money you will make. And so what I mean by this is that money is just a measurement of value. Money is the physical manifestation of value. And this is something that I go super in depth into in one of the podcast episodes. I don't remember what number it is, but it is the podcast about upgrading your wealth frequency. And we go super deep into talking about how money is value. And the more that you value yourself, the more money will show up in your life. And this is very contrary to what the world teaches us. The world very much so teaches us that, like, in order to make more money, you have to devalue yourself. You have to prioritize only working. You have to hustle your ass off. You have to compromise on your health or your relationships or whatever it may be in order to manifest more money into your life. And, like, that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Because the reality is that when you value yourself, more money is going to attract and manifest into your life, because value equals value. Money equals value. The law of attraction, like attracts like, that is going to emit out the energy of value into the universe and then attract back in more money to meet you where you're at in your personal journey of valuing yourself. So super important for you to take a moment and look at yourself, look at your life, and look at the way that you're valuing yourself or the way that you are not valuing yourself. How do you show up for yourself? How do you show yourself that love? How do you show yourself that value? Do you prioritize your health? Do you prioritize your relationships? Do you prioritize the things that you want and need in your life in order to feel like the highest and greatest version of yourself? Because if you do not, then that is a very clear telltale sign and area of your life that you can recognize that, like, oh, money isn't flowing to me in the way, in the capacity that I desire for money to show up in my life, because I am not valuing myself in this area. If you feel stuck, if you feel stagnant, if you feel as though there's parts of your life that are just less than ideal, the reality of it is that you probably have some sort of belief system around that area of your life that is holding you back from fully valuing yourself. Because when you then step into the energy of valuing yourself, prioritizing your wants and needs, and really like doing the work and putting in the time, energy, and effort to readjust those areas of your life that aren't serving you, then you clear out the emotional, energetic, and mental energy that has been holding you back from being a clear channel to receive more money and more of the things that you desire in your life. So, example of this in my life, when I didn't value myself, I used to have literally zero self-worth. I would let people manipulate me, take advantage of me. I would end up in shitty relationships. And I didn't prioritize my health. I ate whatever the fuck I wanted. And usually it was like really greasy, gross, nasty things. I drank all the time. I partied all the time. And like, I genuinely just didn't do anything to show myself value. And my external reality was a byproduct of that, especially my finances. And if you listen to the podcast, you know this to a certain extent, but like, I found myself in the position where I was $70,000 in debt, working paycheck to paycheck, not making enough money, and like truly in my rock bottom, not only financially, but in all areas of my life. And it wasn't until I started to value myself and recognize like what were the limiting beliefs, what were the different experiences that happened in my past that led me to not valuing myself whatsoever, and doing the inner work to heal those different things, that then set me free, essentially, to step into this position of power where I did value myself. I was saying no. I was setting boundaries. I was aligning with what my heart and soul actually wanted for me. I started to prioritize my physical health. I started to prioritize my relationships, especially with myself. I started to build that self-worth inside of myself, release the fear and judgment from other people, the idea that I could fail, all of these different things, and really elevated into a higher and greater version of myself. And naturally, just by doing that, I started to attract and manifest so much fucking money into my life. And this was before I even had the business. It was before any of this like business and consistent income started to flow into my life. Just by valuing myself, all of these things started to change, and it really started to shift my finances. And then once I continued to pursue and follow my heart's desires, then more and more and more money came in through the business and through so many other ways in my life as well. And this is like why I always say that money manifestation oftentimes has absolutely nothing to do with money, because your money is going to amplify what is on the inside. Money itself is inherently neutral. It amplifies what's on the inside. So if you do not value yourself, if you are constantly compromising on your wants and needs, or just putting yourself on the end of the list of priorities in your life, then money's going to reflect that. And money is not going to show up and support you in your life because you're not showing up for yourself and supporting yourself in your life. You are not valuing yourself. When you can make that shift, when you can really recognize that money manifestation oftentimes, almost always, has absolutely nothing to do with money and has everything to do with your relationship to yourself and the way that you perceive the world, then that will completely shift the way that you attract and manifest money into your life as you start to do the inner work and release the limiting beliefs, the traumas, the energetic blockages, the things that have held you in those patterns of the past. And this is why the women inside of ABA, they start manifesting money way before we even talk about money, because it is all about building this rock solid foundation inside of yourself and so fully owning your truth and your power that actually allows you to magnetize more money into your life. Prioritizing yourself and healing your inner blocks will naturally allow you to become more of a clear channel for money. So that is our first one. Second is the more money that you invest in your future, the more money you will make. So what I mean by this is that like the only way we are essentially taught in our society to invest in ourselves is to A, get a college degree, or B, buy a house, or both. And that is outdated. While yes, getting a college degree, if that is what feels aligned to you, is awesome, go for it. That is an incredible investment in yourself. Same with the house. If you feel as though you want to buy a house, you actually want to buy a house, as opposed to you feel as though that is your societal standard and duty of what you are supposed to do in your life, then like awesome, buy the house. That is an incredible investment. But only seeing those two things as investments in yourself and in your future is very limiting, because when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you are your greatest asset. And when you can invest in yourself, in your growth, in your knowledge, in your education, and what you actually want to pursue in this lifetime, in this human body, then you are investing in your most reliable asset. You are your greatest asset for the reason that, like, as you invest in yourself, that is going to change everything. When you invest in the house, when you invest in the car, when you invest in any of these external things, yes, awesome. Again, they're great assets to have, but you are your greatest asset, because when you invest in yourself, you are actually shifting your vibration. So you're shifting your vibration from wherever it is right now and whatever you've been attracting and manifesting into your life based off of what your vibration is made up of right now, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your behaviors, these different aspects that give you the vibrational frequency in which you live in, and then which you attract and manifest more things in your life from, and take yourself to a higher and greater vibrational field by investing in yourself. And the way that I like to think about this is like, okay, so when you choose to invest in yourself in some sort of way, let's say it's like working with the coach that you want to work with, or starting the business, or doing some sort of leadership conference, or whatever it may be, you're taking who you are right now, the energy in which you live in, and aligning yourself with the higher and greater version of yourself who's already there. Every time you invest in yourself, you make the decision to make some sort of investment, go all in on yourself in some sort of way, you are aligning yourself with the energy of the higher and greater version of yourself, who could just say like, yeah, of course, swipe the card. Like, yeah, of course, I deserve this. Yeah, of course, this is the kind of thing that I get to do in my life just because. And when you do that, that totally takes you out of the energetic field that you've been in, places you in that higher and greater energetic field, which then, by the law of attraction, is naturally going to start to attract and manifest greater things into your life, literally just for making the decision to invest in yourself. And as you continue to evolve, because we are all always evolving, and if you are not evolving, then you are not shifting your vibration and you are not culling in bigger and better things into your life. But when you are evolving, then that is going to allow you to continue to up-level and continue to reach greater and greater places inside of yourself and inside of your manifestations, inside of the money that you desire to call into your life. So for me, I'm constantly investing in myself. I have worked with some of the most incredible coaches. I continue to work with the most incredible coaches because every single time I make the decision to invest in myself, I am elevating my vibration that much higher into becoming and being that next level version of myself, which is why I constantly see evolution and growth inside of my life and inside of my finances. It just keeps getting better and better, bigger and bigger, because I make the decision constantly to invest in myself and see myself as my greatest asset. And this is something I really want to hit on because there's so much when it comes to money and purchases and investments and whatnot that feels really daunting and feels very overwhelming, I think, because of the traditional resources that we've been handed around them, such as like information from Dave Ramsey or like any of the big quote unquote financial gurus out there. And while that information, yes, is great for some people, I can imagine if you're here listening to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, like that just doesn't work for you. And because it hasn't, potentially it's held you in patterns of shame or patterns of fear inside of your finances where you choose to then purchase things from the energy of instant gratification versus long-term satisfaction. And there's such a massive shift in energy and what you will attract and manifest into your life when you choose to invest in something with long-term satisfaction in mind versus instant gratification. So what do I mean by this? If you're on Instagram, you've probably seen some of the posts out there that's like, oh, investing $1,000 into starting your online business is too much, but spending $1,000 on an iPhone is like acceptable. Or like not wanting to spend $500 on a evergreen course that could help you with doing something, learning something in your life, but then booking a weekend trip and getting fucked up is acceptable. Or any of these things, like choosing to spend thousands of dollars on takeout over the year, but not being willing to invest that thousands of dollars into learning from a coach, learning a skill, whatever it may be. There's no shame. Like there's no shame around how you choose to spend your money. But if you are in the position where you are unhappy in your life, then addressing how you are spending your money is so necessary. If you feel as though you're constantly staying stuck, you're staying in patterns of the past and you just can't seem to get ahead, then checking in and recognizing that like, yeah, maybe you are spending from a position of instant gratification versus long-term satisfaction is something that you need to do for yourself. And check in and really be like, wow, I am responsible for this right now, because we are the only ones who are in charge of our reality and the way that things are going. So if you are unhappy inside of your finances right now, recognizing how are you spending your money? What is the energy that you are putting it out there with? Is it instant gratification or is it long-term satisfaction? Are these short-term purchases or are they purchases and investments in long-term wealth? Because that is really going to shift the way that you attract and manifest money into your life. And the third mindset to adopt is that the more that you follow your heart's desires, the more money will show up in your life and support that. So this is one of my number one beliefs and the way that I see things play out in the universe. And this is genuinely why I think so many people are so unhappy, because they have been conditioned to believe that it is better to pursue something that is stable, quote unquote safe, quote unquote whatever, like whatever lies you've been fed, as opposed to following what your heart desires. You were placed here on planet Earth in this human body, in this timeline, for a reason. And when we get so disconnected from ourselves and from our truth because of societal conditioning saying that you need to make the smart decision or do whatever it may be, then that places you further out of alignment with what is going to make you a fuck ton of money. And when you can, again, do the inner work to heal those limitations that you've been holding on to inside of yourself, then you can return into your heart center and start to attract and manifest money from the things that you truly love. And one of the things that I've seen for myself, and I've seen for all of the women inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy, is that truly when you act from your heart center, you emit out electromagnetic energy out into the universe, which then by the law of attraction attracts back in bigger, better, more abundant things into your life, just for being you, just for following your heart's desires, just by fully stepping into your truth and your power. And one of the things, I actually have it as my background on my iPhone, is the quote and the affirmation: I expand in abundance, love, success, and money every single day as I inspire others to do the same. And this is one of my number one beliefs, because one, what we believe is what we will manifest into our lives. What we declare as truth for ourselves is what we will attract and manifest into our lives by the universal law of attraction. But two, because you pursuing your heart is the most inspirational thing that you can do in a world that is trying to constantly get you to fit the mold. You pursuing your heart's desires is the most courageous thing that you can do. And the universe favors the bold. The universe favors those who choose to pursue what it is that they desire. Money follows passion. And that is not what the world has taught us, but that is what is so fucking true. Money follows passion. Money follows purpose. Money follows what you choose for yourself from these heart's desires. And that couldn't be more true for me in my life. Every time I feel as though I'm experiencing some sort of money slump or hit some sort of glass ceiling or whatever it may be, I return back to, okay, like, what is my heart actually telling me right now? Like, what is my soul trying to guide me towards? And is it different than what I've been doing in the past? And when I reconnect to that and I make the adjustments and I get so fully into my heart as opposed to what I think I should be doing from my head, then money flows back into my life so easily, so naturally. And I've seen this play out over and over again with the women inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy. One of the most incredible examples of this, and I've actually done a podcast episode with her if you haven't listened to it, but one of my past clients and soul sisters, her name is Say. When she first started the academy, she was in the position that she was working a job that she hated. She was just feeling overall like very stuck, very like in a slump in so many areas of her life. And she knew that something needed to change. And she went all in on her healing journey, went all in on manifesting, creating this like vision for herself of her life. And she didn't really know exactly what it would look like, but she knew that it had to be different than what it was. And through the academy and through taking such incredible aligned and inspired action in her life, she, within weeks, it was like such a short amount of time, started to create content for body positivity and was signed as the first plus size Korean model at a modeling agency here in New York City. And now over a year has passed and she literally is modeling for like Nike and Apple and TJ Maxx and like all of these big name brands because she's chose to continually, time after time, season after season, sink into her heart's desires and reconnect with what is true inside of herself. And another incredible example of this is one of the gals inside of the academy who actually just finished. Her name is Danny, and I'm going to be bringing her onto the podcast in the next few weeks. Danny has had this desire to help people in a completely different way than she had in the past. She's a nurse. She's been saving lives all of these incredible things. And she knew that she wanted to take it to the next level and like explore that in a completely different way by coaching. And she has been able to completely just like call in so much abundance, so much impact, money, and fulfillment by sinking into her power and truly recognizing those heart's desires and getting herself into alignment with all of these things that we've been talking about, valuing herself, valuing her relationships, valuing her health, valuing all of these different things, stepping into this energy of knowing and trusting that as she invests in herself, that is going to be the thing that allows her to attract and manifest more money into her life. And then truly just like full force, full-heartedly pursuing all of her heart's desires. And it's just been so, so incredible to see that for these women and all of the other women inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy. And I share this because I want you to know that it's possible for you as well. I want you to know that if there is any part of you that's been like, oh my gosh, like, why can I not manifest money in the way that I desire in my life? Girl, the truth is you can. You absolutely fucking can. It's just a matter of adopting different mindsets, clearing out the energy of your financial past, and returning to your truth inside of yourself. Returning to your heart's desires and your inherent worthiness to have, be, and do every single thing that you desire in this life. So with all of that being said, those are the 3 unconventional mindsets that you want to adopt in order to start to attract and manifest more money, more abundance, more wealth into your life. And I have something so huge, so incredible to share with you next Tuesday on the podcast. So if you have been wanting to attract and manifest more money into your life, if you know inside of your body that like this is such a yes for you, that learning how to use intentional manifestation to create the life and the finances that you desire is something that you want, then again, make sure that you listen to the podcast next Tuesday. I have such an incredible announcement to share with all of you, and this is something that has been in the works behind the scenes in the past few months. I have had the most insane energetic shifts inside of myself over the past few months. And what I'm getting to share and give and present to all of you is the byproduct of that. So again, if you are wanting to really understand and master intentional manifestation in your life, then listen to the podcast next Tuesday. I'm so excited to share this with you. And that is all I have for you on this podcast episode. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will chat with you on the next episode. Sending you all of my love. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I am so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.